Today's video is all about natural tips for weight loss. I'm gonna get into some things you can do that don't include crazy diets or crazy detoxes and hopefully help you in your weight loss journey. Hey guys, it's Mona, and today's video is about natural tips for weight loss. And it's kind of an interesting video because it's really thinking outside the box, and really the point of this video is to just help everyone understand how much the little things make a difference. And this is really what kind of explains when people say it's a lifestyle, it's not a diet. I know that might sound annoying to hear because I think it's a little cliche, but it really is. And when you take little tips and try to incorporate them instead of trying to do like one big thing or one big hack, it just really makes a difference. So even when it comes to weight loss, someone said the other day, which I thought was so insightful, that when people are trying to lose weight, they're always like, oh, I want to drink celery juice, or I heard that if you do like this diet, or I heard if you don't eat until 10 a.m. every day. Everyone just kind of wants that like one thing that's going to work really quickly, and they don't have to really put in a lot of the other work. That's not going to be the sustainable thing that helps you, but you also don't have to kill yourself on like a crazy fast or crazy diet. If you do the little things and just learn how to like add in the health things, the little things you incorporate every day, like a little bit more movement, incorporating, like we're going to get into like a little bit of green tea every day, adding a little bit of matcha powder into your recipes, that's really going to make a difference. And I also want to stress in this video that it's not about having to do all or nothing. I think that's what stops a lot of people and kind of like unmotivates you, because you're like, well, I don't have time to like eat healthy today, so I'm just gonna order out. If you just do the little things, like anything is better than nothing. So that's also a theme of this. Any little thing you can do to help will get you like further along than doing nothing. So keep that in mind. We're gonna get into how much positivity can help. I have a really cool study to share. So we'll get into all those details. So I'm gonna be going over some food and supplement items that I have today. Most of them I got from Thrive Market. You guys know that I love Thrive Market. I order almost all of my stuff from there because it's kind of my one-stop shop. They've got so much great snack and food items. They have household items. I love that you can find everything super clean. You can also go on there and search based on your specific like needs. So you can search only organic, only non-GMO. You can search vegan, gluten-free, whatever you want, and kind of save your preferred categories. I also have a list of my favorite items that I can link below here if you guys want to check that out. I'll also put a link if you guys want to try Thrive Market and sign up. They have different membership options. You can do 1 month, 3 month, or 12 month. I like the 12 month because it ends up being like $5 a month, so it's most cost effective, but I'll put my link below for that. Okay, so let's get into the weight loss tips. So I first want to talk about green tea and matcha. I'm going to kind of group these two together. I did just do a video earlier this month on matcha, which you guys can check out. I'll also link that below. But that one was really teaching you how to make a matcha latte. But if you watch that, some of the tips are obviously overlapping because matcha is just a type of green tea. So I have one type of green tea here. This is by the brand Tea Pigs, which is kind of a funny name, but I really like this one. And I do have some culinary matcha, so I'm gonna go over the difference between ceremonial grade matcha and culinary matcha. So one thing I want to talk about with green tea is a specific catechin called EGCG. So this is also found in matcha. I talked about it in that last video. It's basically a type of antioxidant, but it's found in really, really high amounts in green tea. So one cool thing about green tea versus other green tea is that it's not fermented. So most tea leaves that you get end up getting fermented, and then by the time you get them, they just aren't as strong an antioxidant, which is why green tea tends to be the healthier one of all of them. So green tea in general is really great. It has the highest amount of EGCG than almost any other food item you're going to find. And this antioxidant is great for promoting weight loss. It's been shown in different studies to help keep weight loss off. So not only actually help you get that boost, but also keep weight loss off in general. One other cool thing about green tea is that it's a natural appetite suppressant. So this could be really helpful for anyone who feels like they overeat, or if you're getting a really high amount of calories, but you still find yourself really hungry or like overeating during the day, this could be a great natural way to do that. And I really think this is so much better than taking any kind of appetite suppressant in terms of like a strong supplement or any kind of like weight loss pill. I really just want to make a point that weight loss pills are so dangerous in general. A lot of them can really increase your heart rate. They can't be combined with so many other things. Even if they say they're herbal and natural, they can still be really dangerous. So definitely watch for those. So I'll link this green tea brand below, but overall, I just love green tea in general. It's something I try to add into my diet. Also, if you don't have time to make a hot tea, I've shared this before too, you can just take the tea bag literally and put it into like a bottle of cold water. Technically, you're not gonna get the exact same brew, so it's not gonna be as strong of the green tea, but I always like to say like a little is better than nothing, and I think that's a common mistake people make in any kind of health like journey. You're like, oh, if I can't do it all the way, I'm not gonna do it, which is so untrue. Every little bit makes a big difference. You can literally take this, I will pull the string out, just stick it into a cold water bottle, shake it up, and it's a cold iced tea. It's better than nothing. So get it in anywhere you can. It's really worth it because it's that good for you. Now, when it comes to matcha, matcha is really interesting because it's the only kind of tea where you're getting the entire tea leaf. So you're getting the actual tea, like it's basically dried and like chopped up into like a fine powder, and you're getting it. Whereas with other tea, you're just getting like part of the tea leaf. And matcha specifically is actually shaded for like 2 weeks before they even make it into a tea. And this increases the chlorophyll level. So you're really getting like a super strong concentrated green tea, which is why the taste can be really bitter. Green tea on its own, I love the taste of. I don't need to add any sweetener. Matcha, on the other hand, is pretty strong. In fact, sometimes it has like a fishy taste. I always say this about if you get like a really authentic green tea, even in like a nice Japanese restaurant, I feel like it tastes a little bit fishy, which is a little weird. Matcha can have that, so I personally can't drink it straight. I can either put it, like with the latte in my last video I showed, I like a sweetened almond milk or some cinnamon. This specifically is culinary matcha, so I wanted to share this one. This is good for adding into like smoothies, into oatmeal. You can literally bake this into like cookies and brownies. It's honestly that helpful, like wherever you can throw it in, and you won't notice it when you add it into things like that. So that's where you're gonna notice those little differences. Whereas like if you're just drinking it, I would get more ceremonial grade matcha, whereas the culinary matcha you could use to cook. So I'll link both of those below. Obviously, however you want to add it into your diet would be great. So there's one study that showed matcha can also possibly be helpful for speeding up muscle recovery and muscle memory, which is kind of cool. So if you're an athlete and you're doing really intense like high interval training and you're working out a lot, there are some thoughts that matcha could help there. And my kind of thought process on this is it can't hurt. If there was like a supplement that was a little bit shady and maybe like had some negative effects and it could help, I'm like, okay, weigh the risk versus benefit, but it's already helping so many other things. If you're working out a lot, you might as well just throw it in. Especially to all my fitness people watching this who love making like the protein pancakes and the protein shakes, just throw a little bit of matcha powder in there, it won't hurt. So the next thing I want to talk about in general is just stress, which most of us know is so detrimental to our body, but stress in general can really increase the amount of cortisol you produce. And cortisol is going to make you not only gain weight, it can make you hold on to more fat storage. It can make you like have an increased appetite. There's just so many different ways it can promote weight gain. Stress in general is just detrimental to your mental health. Stress and weight gain in general are just two things that are really linked. So I'm not huge on supplements. You guys probably know there's rarely any videos I have that I recommended supplements. I think this one's pretty cool. Number one, I love Moon Juice. It's actually a smoothie shop like in West Hollywood. I go there all the time when I'm in LA. It's got a lot of really cool powders and adaptogens. So I thought this supplement was kind of cool because it's really just a blend of adaptogens and mushrooms. So if you look on the back of it, you guys can check this out below. It's got shatavari, it's got ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is one ingredient I've also talked about in a lot of my videos. I really even like it for balancing your thyroid. It's really been shown to be great for that. I even went to an Ayurvedic doctor who wanted to put me on it, but was like so insistent that I tell my other doctors that, you know, I'm taking it, especially if you're taking any other thyroid medication, because it's so strong that it can really interact. And thyroid imbalances in general can really lead to like a lot of weight gain for so many women. So one ingredient besides ashwagandha that I kind of wanted to highlight in here was rhodiola. And I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly, but I'll pop it up on the screen just in case. But rhodiola has actually been known to improve cognitive function. And this kind of brings me into another tip for weight loss that I find so important, which is just the mind-body connection. So the power of your mind is so real, and there's just so much data on this. In fact, there's one study that I recently learned about that I thought was so interesting. They took two groups of housekeepers that were both in the same building doing the same work, and in one group they told them that their 8-hour shift was basically like getting a 1-hour workout a day. And a lot of the housekeepers were excited and thought that was really cool. The other group, they didn't tell them, they just let them do their work. At the end of I can't remember if it was 1 or 3 months, the group that they told this to had lost weight, their blood pressure had gone down, some of their blood glucose had gone down, just from thinking and having this kind of positive affirmation that when you're working out, this can help. And there's so much data like this of how powerful your mind is. I mean, even a lot of trainers that you work with will tell you, that's why when you're working out, you have to really focus, know what you're working on, know what you're squeezing, imagine everything that you're doing and why it's helping you. I mean, there's so much even research on meditation where people imagine themselves healing. You really sit for 10, 15 minutes and picture your body healing. There was another study that showed they put a few people in casts, and they had one group in the cast picture their muscles engaging, actually pretend they're lifting a weight, and they had a group that didn't, and the one group had more muscle mass than the other one. So just imagining and picturing it, it's crazy what can happen in your body. So having that mind muscle connection, being positive, basically being kind to yourself, and just actually imagining working out can really help. So think about that when it comes to weight loss. And if you come from more of a place of stress and anxiety and I don't look good, I have to, if it's just really all about how you look and how bad you are and what you're lacking, that's gonna make a big difference. So I wanted to share some of these studies because, like I said, sometimes it's hard to believe unless you see the hard facts. And now that you know that there are hard facts, you can kind of be more of a believer in the mind-body connection. So I shared a little about this supplement. I also want to just throw in maca in here. Maca is another adaptogen that I've talked about for years. I love this one. The cool thing about adaptogens, going back to stress, a lot of these are tied into each other. They basically just help you balance your stress hormones. So it's not so much a specific effect they have, or it's just overall your stress. So how your body reacts to stress, whether it's physical, whether it's mental. One other cool thing about maca is it's been shown to help balance estrogen levels in women. And estrogen in general can help you hold on to fat. So if you have too much estrogen, a lot of times they call this soft skinny, where you have that softer muscle where you can't really get that toned look. In fact, a lot of people in the fitness world for competitions will take estrogen blockers, which I don't recommend. I don't like going that route, but that just goes to show you when you want that harder muscle look, they don't want any estrogen. We want to keep it natural and obviously just kind of help our body heal itself and keep everything in balance. We're not trying to over manipulate. So that's kind of what maca is good for. The other benefit of maca or adaptogens, same thing in this supplement, this Moon Dew supplement, is that they give you more energy. So there's so many people that have been, if you take it every day over a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month period, just using a little bit of the supplement, they report higher energy, they're more positive mood. That in general is going to motivate you to work out. So this is what I mean when you look at it from every single aspect and don't just try to find a quick fix. The higher your mood, the more energized you are, the more positive you are. This will also make you be a little bit more mobile too. So the more sedentary you are, obviously, the more you're gonna have weight gain, the less actual physical activity you're gonna have. But if you're active and energized and up and moving, all of that little bit counts. Kind of like the example with housekeepers. They were doing the same amount of work. It wasn't like they were working out. They were just standing all day, and that still helps. So the last thing I wanted to share is just this one drink. This is a 4-sigmatic drink, and this is almost just a little bit of a hack. So these other ones were more all around holistic, but this is just kind of a little hack in terms of coffee. So I think that drinks in general are just such a contributor to weight gain. I think that if you know what you're drinking and you know what you're eating and you're happy with it, that's fine. But I think that drinks are a sneaky way to gain weight and that most people don't know. So even in your coffee, you're it's just a little bit of cream. It's just a little bit of sugar, but maybe you have 2 of those a day and maybe it's every single day. You'd be surprised how that stuff adds up. So whenever I can find a little flavored coffee or something that makes me have to use less sweetener, I love it. This is a little mushroom latte mix. So you don't have to add any milk to it. You don't have to add any sweetener to it. It has organic instant coffee, coconut milk powder. It's also got all the healing mushrooms in it, which I love. And it adds a little bit of stevia. So the sugar is 0. It's 2 grams of fat, 1 gram of protein, 2 grams of carb. It's nothing. And it's easy. You can bring it to work with you. I've always liked using coffee and tea as almost like a dessert. Sometimes after I have a meal, I like to have it, and it kind of gives me a palate change. But these just give you a little bit of sweetener too, so you can just throw it into a hot water and you're good to go. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope you take some of these tips into account. I promise you, these are what make a huge difference. And for me personally, what really took my health to the next level. I've kind of done it all and experienced it all. I've done the really, really extreme part. I've done the nothing part, and this is really what's kept me most in balance and just kept me feeling my best. So I will link everything individually below, and I'll also put my link for Thrive Market below so you guys can get either $10 or $20 off your first order. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave any questions below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.